podcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Bandwidth for TWiT specials is provided by CacheFly at CACHEFLY.com.
This is TWiT Live Special number 269, recorded January 8th, 2016. CES, Day 3. This TWiT Live Special is brought to you by FreshBooks, the super simple cloud accounting software that's giving thousands of freelancers and small businesses the tools to save time billing and get paid faster. Try it free at freshbooks.com/TWiT. Welcome to CES Day 3. We're at the Sands Innovation Pavilion, which means one thing. It's the Wild West of tech. One of the big stories at CES 2016 has been the Internet of Things. Everything is connected, everything is wireless, everything gives us data points about our life and our environment. But it's been a little bit nebulous because what do you do with the Internet of Things? What do you do with all that connectivity? What do you do with those wireless devices giving you all those data points? Well, you could offer a nebulous big data solution, or you could use it to take care of the people that you love. We're here at Green Peak, and I'm speaking with, none other but Mr. Casey. I'm sorry, I believe you're one of the inventors of Wi-Fi, are you not?
That was my previous life, correct?
In a previous life, he provided you with the network connectivity that you're using right now. But sir, now you are the CEO of a company that allows the Internet of Things to do something, I'm going to say, useful. Can you describe the mission statement of Green Peak?
Yeah, Green Peak is about low-power data communications. If you have many devices in your house, you want to have long battery life, otherwise you won't do anything else than changing batteries. But the real key, of course, is what do you do with all these devices being connected? And we are working on some very interesting applications that we think will be cornerstones for how we live our future life.
Now, what I love is that you have actually given us a case, a use case for this technology. It's not just, everything should be connected. It's we can connect it and then we can use it to help you watch the people that you love. Specifically, if you've ever worried about a loved one, an elderly member of the family, your technology allows us to create a network that can let us know if their activity is normal. Tell me how that works.
Yeah, what we have done last year is we have developed a system around devices where, for instance, people can live at home longer. And the usual model is my mother is 85, she lives at home alone, and she had a sister, and her sister fell, broke a hip, and she was without help for several hours. And her concern is, something happens to me, who will know? For instance, I cannot get out of bed in the morning. Who will know and who will will give me any help? If it's 8 o'clock in the morning and my mother is not out of bed, she's always out of bed at 7:30. So if she is not out of bed at 8 o'clock, then I get a message on my phone that says, hey, your mother is not out of bed. Maybe you want to give her a call and see whether everything is okay. And that kind of thinking started with, hey, you don't need a lot of devices to detect activity in a home. And my mother doesn't have to wear anything to notice when she gets out of bed. We have motion sensors, we have open-close sensors. We found out that if you have just 5 sensors in the house, which, a sensor on the fridge, a sensor in the bathroom, a sensor in the bedroom, and a sensor in the living room, and a sensor in the front door, these sensors together, they basically can read in a period of time what is my mother's living pattern. And after 2 weeks, when the system knows the pattern, and there are exceptions, I get an alert on my phone that says, hey, it's 8 o'clock and your mother is not out of bed. Or it's 11 o'clock and your mother has not gone to bed. And you know what the beauty is? No cameras, no programming. I just get a little note, hey, you may want to give a call. And my mother likes it because now she gets a call. So there is some kind of, implicit side effects at the same time. But it's a very good example how you can make very simple systems that make it possible, for people to take care of each other without sitting on each other's lip, so to say. Actually, when you start collecting the data, you can start coach people in terms of, what is the lifestyle they are kind of entertaining, And for instance, my mother, I mean, despite her day and age, it's good for her to go out and have a regular walk. And, you know, these things kind of come automatically out of the system and can create suggestions and coaching activities in terms of living an active life, a healthier life, a happier life. And let me tell you one thing more that is part of this system as well. This system, because it learns over time, it learns also that if something slowly deteriorates, that I get an alert too. For instance, the system knows the average time it takes my mother from the bedroom to the bathroom. If that over time all of a sudden drops down, I can give my mother a call and say, Mom, everything okay? Because it feels like you're not walking so well. Now, it's a very interesting medical statistic that walking slowly is an early indicator of falling and breaking a hip, which is, you know, a very dangerous situation for elderly people. And if you can figure that out ahead of time, you know, my mother will say, no, everything is fine. But, you know, the data shows differently, and then you can do something about it. And that's something that makes this very exciting as well.
Mr. Gase, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak with you. Thank you very much for spending time with us. Here at Green Peak, it's not the Internet of Things. It's the Internet of Things that you love. What's better than beer? Well, what about brewing your own? Now, you could go through the process of fermenting and distilling and doing all the fun things that you do with beer, or you could just come to Pico Brew and check out this. This is a beer bot, and I'm speaking with Dr. Bill Mitchell, who's going to explain what goes into this wonderful piece of tech. Doctor, what is this?
Well, this is our brand new Pico. So the Pico Brew Pico is your brewing robot. You can reliably reproduce recipes from over 100 of the best craft breweries in the world and produce the beer exactly as they wanted you to experience it, fresh and from the craft brewery. But in this case, the craft brewery is in your home. So the idea is you preload grains and hops, and this device connects to the internet, connects to your account on picobrew.com, and allows the machine to guide through the steps that basically the brewery would do when it's brewing the beer. All of the mash portion, the boil, and then finishing off the beer, it will deposit it in this keg here. This keg with the unfermented beer, you can add a package of yeast to, and then put it inside of the kegerator here. It ferments in anywhere from 2 days to several weeks, depending on the type of beer and the yeast. And at the end of the process, you hook it up to the tap, and it's ready to drink.
Now, I could see the experienced brew makers out there, and even the brew aficionados saying, how good can beer come from a robot? And two, why would I want a pre-packaged beer thing? Wouldn't I want to be able to tinker with the recipe on my own?
Well, one of the great things is our first generation machine is being used as pilot batch beer production robot for some of the best breweries in the world. We've got partners like Rogue and 21st Amendment, Beta. Huge number of craft breweries are joining us, and they're using our first generation machine to really pioneer recipes at a small batch size. Once you've produced the beer and produced it reliably with these recipes, then you can transfer it into basically the cartridges that go into this machine that allow everyone that has a Pico to reliably reproduce the beer and not just get that exact beer profile, but customize it to their own tastes. So if you've always wanted a Rogue Dead Guy that is a session beer, maybe a 4% beer, you can have a couple of them and still walk. You can do that. If you've always wanted something with a little more punch from 21st Amendment, you can dial up the IBUs, take it all the way up to 11 or 99. Yeah, we're all about a beer meritocracy. We believe people should be able to experience the best beers in the world, and actually it should be a social thing. You should be able to see what other people think of beers and acquire those beers and maybe modify them, stand on the shoulders of giants, make your own great beers. So what we have is a brew marketplace. It's actually www.brewmarketplace.com. We've got over 100 craft brewery partners already, and we've also got a bunch of home brewers that are publishing to it. And so once you pioneer a recipe, if you think it could be the next great beer of the world, feel free to publish it. You earn royalties on it. You could be the next beer millionaire.
Doctor, thank you very much for speaking with us. Now, if they want to find out more about the Pico, about the Brewana, about your kegerator, where can they go?
peekabrew.com, and we have a show special right now on the Pico. You can get it for $5.99 with your first beer kit.
Well, we're going to have a brew here with the crew. Hopefully it doesn't destroy the rest of our CES coverage. But I, for one, welcome our beer brewing overlords. Even the smartest techie can't get away from a bad night's sleep, which is why I'm here at Sleep Ace to check out the latest in Rest On technology, sleep training aids. I'm speaking with Howard, who's going to explain what Rest On is. Howard, before we get into it, why do I need to train my sleep?
Actually, you don't need to train your sleep. You need to understand your sleep. And what you need to do in that sense is to understand what your problem areas are, how you get to sleep, as well as how you wake up gently and like in a natural state, as well as get the information and find the solutions to your problems.
Oh, there are going to be people out there who say, I have a smartwatch, an Android or an iOS watch, or I have a wearable that gives me information about my sleep. It told me I got 6 hours of sleep last night. Isn't that all the information I need?
Well, really not, because what it's telling you is it's actually acting as a monitor, not as a solution to your problem.
Okay, now show me exactly what the Rest On does, because I understand there's a band that goes under a sheet.
The first thing that you have to understand is this has a memory chip in it, so it will record the data. The second is you have to understand that you don't have to plug this in all the time. This has a lithium-ion battery that you charge once and will last for 30 days. Then the data that comes up, I actually put on one of my worst night's sleeps, and one of the reasons why I got involved with this company is I have sleep apnea, and I know I want to fix the problem. So what I do is, in the morning when I turn this off, I can see all the data. It tells me that my sleep score was 45, which is bad. That I was only in bed from 6 hours and 8 minutes, that I was from 11:45 to 5:53, and that I had an average 61 heartbeats per minute, as well as 16 was my breath rate. When I look at it, it also gives you a chart. And if you notice here, on top, it'll tell you actually when you are up, when you might have gone to the bathroom or whatever else you've done when you get up at night. So it's not only your sleep. You asked about like the Fitbit or those kind of wearables. Those do not track this type of data. If I press on this told me that I had a sleep apnea episode, and I actually called the doctor after that because I do wear a CPAP machine. The last thing that it does on this page is it tells you how many times you've turned over and if there's any abnormalities in your heart rate. But the real strength in this application is when you press on the application number itself, it'll give you where the data or where the problem areas are, and you'll see that there are negative scores, and that's how your score is arrived at. You press on one of the high numbers, and now what it'll do is it'll tell you what the factors that are involved with it, what it actually is, and then give you the sleep tips in order to correct your sleep so you get a better night's sleep. And after all, when you get a good night's sleep, your production levels are much higher.
I understand that you've got a companion to the Rest On, a light, a smart light that helps you, sleep.
The first thing that's the most important in sleep is to understand your environment. And to understand your environment, you need to understand what it's like. And the Rest On is compared with the Knox for the Knox sleep system. And that'll tell you what your temperature, your humidity, your light, and your noise levels are in the room. And eventually this will be hooked up to the IoT so that the other devices in your home will then correct the environment to be the perfect environment for sleep. But the original thing you need to do is fall asleep. Because if you don't fall asleep, you're not getting a good night's sleep. And what our Knox system will do is first turn red. The red light is conducive to help us form melatonin in the brain. To give you an example of that, we're conditioned to go to sleep after sunset. Sunsets are usually red. So if you close your eyes, you'll even see red because you have blood vessels in it. That's, again, conducive to form the melatonin that helps us sleep. At the end of your sleep, the next thing that you need to do is wake up. But there's a lot of unnatural ways to wake up, and those are usually from regular alarm clocks. What this does is this will give you an artificial sunrise, and the sunrise will then give you sounds like bird sounds and things like that to wake you up naturally when you're in a light sleep cycle. And the Rest On piece, the band, will actually tell the Knox light when that is and wake you up naturally. A good example of that is if you've ever gone to sleep and you have an alarm clock at home and you wake up and you look at the alarm clock and you have like 10 or 15 minutes until you're waking up, the best thing to do at that point is to get out of bed. Because if you don't and you go into a deep sleep, you'll wake up when the alarm goes off and you'll be shocked. And when the system is shocked, that can cause you a terrible day ahead because you'll be tired all day.
Howard, this is fantastic. I've been looking for a system like this for a long, long time. I'm actually going to get one of these. I'm going to take it home. I'm going to see what my sleep looks like, and then hopefully I can correct it. Now, if they want to find out more about Sleep Ace, if they want to find out about Rest On, if they want to find out about your Knox light, where can they go?
Well, they can go to our website, which is mysleepace.com. That's MYSLEEP ACE.com, and they can pre-order the Knox system, or they can actually get the Rest On band right now for $149.99. And if you want the whole system, you can pre-order it at $279.99 on our website.
Howard, thank you so very much for speaking with us. Thank you for sharing this technology. Really, this is something that everyone needs to start taking seriously. I personally, as a techie, I know I have so many distractions that sometimes it's difficult to fall asleep. So if you get some Sleep Ace, maybe you can be counting sheep in your cyber dreams. You remember in the good old days back in grade school when you used to make paper airplanes and throw them out the window? Well, forget those good old days because they were obsolete before they started, because we're here at PowerUp Toys with a paper airplane with a twist. I'm speaking with the CEO of the company, Shai, who's going to explain why your next paper plane is going to have some amazing tech. Shai, this was a Kickstarter darling. It was a device that you could put onto any paper plane and turn it into a Bluetooth-controlled flight monster. Tell me a little bit about this.
Okay, so PowerUp 3 is essentially taking the well-known paper airplane that every kid at the age of 8 can fold. And by connecting this piece of technology, now it can fly not 5 seconds, but 10 minutes. You control it by using Bluetooth technology. So essentially, you are making something yourself, and it flies. And this is still #1 on Kickstarter in flight. And today I have something really even more interesting to show you, so you could check it out. PowerUp FPV.
Exactly. So we've gone from this to, I'm going to say it's a little upscale, because now not only is it dual propeller, so I get a bit more oomph for my go, but it's also FPV, which means I can watch first-person view out of the front of my paper plane. Tell me why you developed this over the original.
Okay, so good question. And when we did the original Kickstarter, our backers actually told us, hey, does it have a camera? Because maybe they thought this little tip was a camera. And I thought about that. Yeah, with Bluetooth, that's not really possible. And let's explore that. As a pilot myself, many years, I know what flying is all about. That experience of, taking off, flying over the trees, etc. And I thought, wouldn't it be amazing to take a paper airplane and give that experience in live streaming video? So we partnered with the famous guys at Parrot and helped us bring this vision into reality. We invested in developing algorithms for autopilot flight, and now you can actually fly and soar above the trees with a paper airplane that you construct yourself. And you can make different airplanes as well, so you make it yourself and you fly it.
I have to add, it's a nice touch that you've got cardboard goggles for the FPV. It pretty much makes everything paper. Let's go ahead and show the folks at home what the app looks like. So they may have experienced the PowerUp, but let's show them what the FPV actually, how that works. This is your iPhone, and you've got the app installed. How would I control this craft?
Okay, so we have a few different options. So first of all, the paper airplane module actually creates its own Wi-Fi streaming. So you don't need any router. This creates its own hotspot. You can see that the latency is really nice, and we created this nice kind of app that gives you a cockpit view. The camera itself also rotates towards the rear, so it'll actually give you a kind of a selfie when you take off, and you can capture that, and you see the airplane zooming up in the air. And when you fly first-person view, what you need to do is go to first-person view mode. It looks like a Google Cardboard kind of app. You slide this into your Google Cardboard, and then you buckle up, and you launch it. And as you launch it, the propellers will start automatically. And if you look up, it'll go up, look down, right and left. And you can fly this up to 10 minutes, and it's a very exciting kind of experience. It flies up to 20 miles an hour, 200 yards range, and it's really a fun kind of product.
Shai, I have to ask, here in the Sands, you are surrounded by companies that are selling multi-$100,000 drones with the most advanced technology available, with GPS location, and yet you've managed to capture imagination. That's what the Kickstarter thing was all about. You made people both nostalgic for what they used to do and hopeful for what kind of tech they could put on it. Why is this such a success?
Because every kid at the age of 8 learns how to fold an airplane, and that's probably his first science experiment, taking a piece of paper, folding, throwing, launching, learning, and it's something that it stays with you also when you get older. And once you see this thing, you feel like, hey, I know this, I know how to do this, I got to put this thing on it, I want to test it. So it's actually something that everybody already knows, it's easy to explain, and you want to try it. It inspires you to do it. Other quads, it's fun to fly, they have great cinematography. Here you're actually making it and you're experiencing.
All right, now if the folks at home want to find out more, where do they go? Where can they kickstart these? Where can they buy them?
Okay, so PowerUp 3 is currently on PowerUpToys.com or Amazon.com. PowerUp FPV is today, actually the Kickstarter is ending. Go to Kickstarter.com and write PowerUp FPV and you'll get the special deal. It'll ship this June, and later it'll be for a more expensive price later this year, towards the holidays.
Shai, thank you very much for speaking with us. Thank you for sharing this. I think it brings out the inner geek to think about making a craft that will fly with just a little bit of advanced technology. Folks, if you want to power up, you got to build it, make it, fold it, fly it. The definition of home improvement has changed over the last few years. It used to be a 2x4, a new doorknob, maybe some toiletry might help you improve your house. But now, to improve your home, you have to make it smart, which is why I'm speaking with Patrick from Lowe's, who's going to explain how Iris can put the smarts into your smart home. Patrick, what is Iris?
Iris. Well, Iris is a smart home management system that's actually developed by Lowe's, owned by Lowe's. And, people ask sometimes why Iris, why are we even in the smart home space? And when we think about it, Lowe's, what do? We're about helping customers through big projects, bringing complex products together to hopefully into a final solution that help them benefit them and their home. And smart home is no different. If you think about it, you've got all these devices out there that are connected today. How do I start to bring them together so it's actually something that I can use that's useful for my family? And that's what Iris is about. It's about creating a simple, easy-to-use solution where we can have all these devices work together in a simple, seamless app that hopefully, you can start to experience connected living at your house.
Now, right now, we're taking a look at some of the devices that work with the Iris system. But I have to say, I like the fact that Lowe's is going the open standards route. You're bringing on a bunch of partners who make different manufacturing processes with devices for your home. And you're all using Zigbee, which means that your application will work with devices from Osram or LG or GE, Honeywell. That really sort of increases the reach of Iris.
It does, and that was one of the things. So when we built one of the things that's sort of the nerve center of the Iris program is our Iris Hub, and it has a bunch of radios in it. And it actually includes, like you said, Zigbee, but we also have a Z-Wave radio, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, because we have a lot of great partners at Lowe's and really that are experts in their fields. You think about all the different products we carry at Lowe's. So as they bring those products to market, it's about finding a way for them to bring them all together so that not only can a customer use those products, but then they can also start to interact together. And through by selling our vendor partners' products, that's the way we're both successful.
All right, let's actually show the folks at home how this works. Let's say we've got a flow meter. Let's say we've got a smart plug, so we can actually measure how much power a particular appliance is using, my refrigerator, my coffee maker, my iron. How do I use the app to actually start collecting that data?
Yep. So the way it would work, so you go to your Lowe's store, and let's say you're interested, for example, your television, how much power that's actually drawing. So you could buy the smart plug here, so $34.99, and it does a variety of different things. But in this particular situation, what you do is you take it home. You'd need to have an Iris app, the Iris Hub already, which we sell for $59.99, and you can connect a variety of devices. But you just take the plug home, and then you'd take your app. And then what you do is you would just have to pair the device to the app. In this case, it's an Iris-branded device. So then what it's going to do, in this particular case, it's not turned on, so I'm not drawing any power. But It now turns on, but that's just one situation that shows me how much power it's actually drawing.
As you develop the app, because I know the app is all new for 2016,
Yep.
how are you going to help me turn all that information into something usable?
Yep. So I think there's a couple of ways probably to answer that. So one of them is just an awareness. I think most people don't realize, for example, how much power a device is using, depending on the device, even when it's turned off. So just by the fact that you can take these devices, and some people will actually take them room to room and plug them in and sort of see, wow, how much is that drawing versus this device and that device. So that's one thing. But another thing too, even from an awareness standpoint, we have leak sensors and shutoff valves too. So if you think about it, we can actually connect a shutoff valve up to your pipes and have leak sensors. I just had a friend the other day, they had $20,000 in water damage because their washing machine overflowed. We could have solved that with an Iris system. You think about all the things that had, all the waste that occurred from things having to be replaced just from that damage, whereas if Iris had detected that leak, it could have shut their main water valve off and they could have avoided all of that.
Patrick, Iris looks very promising, and I really look forward to see how you develop it over the next year. In fact, at 2017 CES, we're going to make sure we stop by Lowe's and see where you're at. For the folks at home, if they want to find out how to pick up an Iris device, if they want to see your list of partners, if they actually want to see how much it costs, where can they go?
Yep. So there's two great ways to do that. So one of them, if you're sitting at home, you can go to irisbylowes.com. So that's our Iris website. You can look at product. You can look at what we call solutions, which are the different ways the different devices can work together in different use cases. You can just read about Iris in general on the Iris platform, read about latest updates. Or the great thing about Iris 2 is that you can go into any 1,500 Lowe's stores. We'll have Iris sets right there, usually typically at the front of the store. All the products available for you to take home.
Thank you very much for speaking with us, and thank you for showing off your tech. This is Iris, Lowe's. It's home improvement, but smarter. I want to interrupt this TWiT Live special and bring you this footage from inside this garage. Now, why are we in this garage surrounded by all these Iris-enabled devices? Well, it's because a lot of innovation comes out of places just like this. The people who start new businesses, the people who have great ideas, the people who have fresh ideas that end up making them lots and lots of money. Well, folks, if you're one of these people, if you are inventive, if you are a business person, if you decide to start your own business, you're going to need a way to look professional, and you're going to do that by using FreshBooks. Now, FreshBooks is the easiest way for you to do your billing, for you to do your invoicing, for you to make sure that you get paid on time. Let me share a story with you. Before I entered the priesthood, I actually ran a business in the Silicon Valley, and I loved doing what I did. I was doing technology consulting, I was building networks. That part I really loved. The part I didn't like so much was the billing and making sure that everyone got paid and making sure that I got paid on time. In fact, I let a couple of invoices slip just because it wasn't really on my to-do list. Well, with FreshBooks, it never has to be on your to-do list because they handle everything from the start to the finish, from the books to the invoicing, to making sure that you get paid. FreshBooks is your own personal accountant, but it's all online. Now, right now, they've even added a card reader. So if you want to add card payments, well, FreshBooks is the service for you. Folks, we want you to try FreshBooks. We want you to try the service that both Leo Laporte and I have used to make sure that we look professional in this garage industry. Now, just go to freshbooks.com/twit. That's freshbooks.com/twit, and you're going to get the first 30 days free. Again, that's freshbooks.com/twit. And don't forget to make sure that you mention us in the How Did You Hear About Us section for your 30-day free trial. We thank FreshBooks for their support of this TWiT Live special. The Sands Convention Center has become sort of the innovation hub of CES. This is where you see the truly innovative and the truly strange products, and I would definitely place this right in the middle. This is the PRO from a Schaumburg, Illinois company. Now, the PRO is an aid for those in hospitals. Do you have a loved one with Alzheimer's or dealing with dementia? Well, this is an aid for them to, deal with the real world. Now, this is absolutely covered with sensors, from the whiskers to touch sensors to noise sensors, and it helps them to relate to something. Now, it brings them out of themselves. It's a therapeutic aid. Now, of course, this is not a toy. This is not for the boy or girl under 6. This is not a Christmas present. This is an actual serious piece of technology that brings the internet of adorable things to the masses. If you want to find out more about this innovative use of technology, you got to check them out. Go to www.PowerRobots.com. Me? I'm going to get some cuddle time. There are many different ways to get around, and you could try a hoverboard, you know, if you like the whole death, destruction, and bursting into flames at spontaneous times, or you could do it the right way with the originator of the two-wheel conveyance, Segway. I'm here with Jerry from Ninebot, who's going to explain why this is a hoverboard, but done right. Jerry, tell me about the Ninebot.
Well, this is Segway's newest product, is the Mini Pro. We decided to do it correctly, do it safely. We basically shrunk a Segway down to a small consumer version. It still has the lean steer, but now it's steered with the knees instead of the hands. The vehicle will go up to 20 miles on a charge. It has a smart charger. It'll turn itself off instead of incinerating if you forget to unplug the charger. 11 miles an hour top speed. It's a game changer. This is also our platform for the robotics version that we're partnered with Intel.
Now, you showed me the app earlier, and I got to say, I love the fact that I can connect my smartphone to my conveyance. And not only that, I can actually keep tabs on some of the most vital pieces of information. As you mentioned, the battery temp, which has been a problem in the past for cheap knockoffs. But I got to ask, why go with a smaller version? What does a smaller device give us that we couldn't get out of the larger ones?
Well, one thing, it gives you about an extra $4,000 in your pocket because this is $1,299 retail. This will get you just as far as a conventional Segway. It's a very small footprint. It's a personal device I can carry with me if I need to. I can put it in the trunk of my car. I can even throw it over my shoulder and ride a bicycle someplace to get from point A to point B and then ride it. So it's a transportation vehicle for everyone for a very good price point that it's a lot of fun too.
Now, there is one other thing, and this is pure geek joy. I don't have to ride this to use it.
That's correct. For all of us geeks that want to have our little toy, you can also use this autonomously as a robot. I can put drinks on as a party trick and run around. So we have all those options. I can change the colors of the lights. I can do all those techie things that everybody wants to do now. We're working on a lot of projects. And here at CES, we were excited to find out that our robotics version, we are a finalist for the Best in Show of CES.
Absolutely fantastic. Now, if they want to find out more about this Mini, where can they go?
You can go to Segway.com or you can go to Ninebot.com. We're both a connected company. Also, shortly, I suggest you go to Amazon.com. We have a very good introductory price for the vehicle starting February 1st.
Thank you. Thank you so very much for speaking with us. And thank you for showing this off to us. In fact, right now, I'm sure Leo Laporte is watching this and thinking, well, that's something else I have to buy. Folks, here at Segway, the future just got small. Having a sick child is never fun, but what's even more unpleasant is having to check that child's temperature and find out whether or not the medication is having any effect, which is why we're at Blue Spark taking a look at the temp track. I'm speaking with Matt, who's going to explain what their technology can do, not just for the child, but maybe for the child and all of us. Matt, what is temp track?
Temp track is a wearable wireless temperature monitor in the form of a very soft, comfortable patch. Allows you to continuously monitor and record temperature for up to 48 hours. It stores that data on the patch, but also transmits that information via Bluetooth Low Energy to any Apple or Android Bluetooth Low Energy enabled smartphone or tablet.
Now, I have to ask, there's going to be people out there who say, well, my digital thermometer works just fine. Right. Why do I need yet another piece of gear to find out what temperature X is at?
Sure, and that's a common question. Digital thermometers only take one point in time. This is really a remote monitoring device. It continuously monitors your temperature, really allows you to see the trending information, how things are going. You can trend and take a look. For instance, when if your child has a fever, you can give them Advil or Tylenol, see if that's going down. One of the biggest features parents like is our alert feature. That essentially, you set an alert temperature. This transmits about 50 feet away. You can actually be in another room in the middle of the night. It can alert you to the fact that your temperature is spiking.
This has been a trend that we've started to see in health, and that is we're tired of snapshots. We don't just want to see something from this particular period. We want to see how someone's health improves or declines over time, which is why I'm excited for your app. Show me the kind of information that gets tracked and captured.
Yeah, so this is Hannah's in our booth here. We're all wearing patches here live. This shows you your immediate temperature. You get that every 10 seconds. Not that you need your temperature every 10 seconds, but it gives you up-to-date information. Here's a graph of the temperature over time. You can see the trending information. Here you can view the history, and you can actually email this to your doctor.
Where do you see this technology evolving? Because it seems like this is a first step. It's a very interesting application, but we need more. We need to be able to monitor more over time. Where do you want to see TempTrack, say, at CES 2017?
Yeah, so this is really the evolution, kind of the crossroads between wearables and digital health initiatives. We're seeing a lot more body sensors, especially in the clinical realm. This really allows patients to get home quicker. If you can remotely monitor them at home and be in the comfort of your own bed versus in a hospital, one, it reduces the insurance costs, but also gives you the peace of mind and your doctor the peace of mind to know that you're doing okay.
Okay, I'm sold. Now, if they want to find out more about this technology, or maybe if they want to pick one up, what's the pricing, what's the availability, and where can they go to find your site?
Sure. The list price is $19.99. You can get it on TempTrack.com. That's TempTrack with a Q. Amazon, CVS.com, and if you're a Costco member, Costco.com. Coming soon in mid-April, they'll be in Target stores. And a number of other retailers that we can't mention at the moment, but they're coming to a pharmacy near you.
Matt, thank you very much for sharing your technology with us, and thank you for showing us what I think is the future of wearables. It's TempTrack. It's a way to finally confirm that you're on fire. There's very little in life that can't be made better with some gel. That's why I'm at Impact Gel speaking with Matt, who's going to show us what their patented technology can do. Now, Matt, a lot of people are familiar with gel, but you have soy gel. Tell me about what this is made out of.
Yeah, what we're made out of is we're made out of soy-based material. Most of the elastomers and other gels, like a Dr. Scholl's, for example, is a elastomer. We're all soy-based. Our patent runs from 40% natural oil up into the high 90s. And what it does, the properties of that create a cross-link property. So the molecular chain never ends. And what that does is it seals and creates a sticky format in the front. So what we can do is, there's a lot of uses for the soy gel. It's all environmentally friendly, green, non-toxic. You can literally eat it. When the chemical reaction happens, everything becomes inert that's bad for the environment. So it's an environmentally green product. What this is we are the #1 selling saddle pad in America, and this is out of the middle of a saddle pad of a horse. But we originally found this by some kid at a show beating on a skittle, but I can take my hand and put it inside there, and this is nothing anymore, but in the day, it was quite the deal. Since then, we've evolved and the technology's evolved into something super thin. As you can see, that's 1.2 millimeters thick. Can take that same material and put my hand behind it and do the same thing. Or I can take an M&M, put an M&M down there and do the same thing, hit the M&M, move it over here, and they just shatter. So what we do is we really spread energy laterally rather than go through it. A regular elastomer or like a Dr. Scholl's, energy just goes right through it, and we move it laterally. The other thing that we do is we don't migrate. So like you take Tech 21, we just tested them at Intertech, which is 40,000 employees, largest testing facility in America. We're close to 40% better than Tech 21. We don't migrate around a corner. So you can take this material, go on the corner of a table, and hit on the edge without compromising your hand. We will stay put. We can take a pen and go like this, poke a hole through it, it'll seal back shut. The only thing keeping that open is the polyurethane film. If I do it here on a thicker piece, you can see that when you pull the gel back out, it seals shut. So, like I said earlier, the molecular chain never ends, and that's what allows us to, make the world's greatest materials out of the world's greatest cell phone case here at CES.
Where are you hoping to expand this in the future?
One of the things that we're working on right now is a ballistic plate. We took a level 4 test on a ballistic plate, and they put our material behind the ballistic plate, super thin and super small. But what we do is we take almost 40% of the energy of the back face deformation of a bullet away. And so the ballistic plate company that we're working with, we're going to release at SHOT Show here in 2 weeks. And that ballistic plate can take 9 On a level 4 test, it can take a high-powered rifle and take 9 bullets without compromise. So the high-powered rifle SWAT team, the bullet won't go through. We take the energy of that bullet away so it doesn't kill the officer or the soldier.
Okay, but I'm giggling with all the science here. If they want to find out more about your product, more about your patents, more about your gel, where can they go?
Go to impactgel.com. It's probably the simplest. And, we've been out there for a while. We've been very blessed. I could say we have the #1 selling saddle pad in America. Got some pretty cool partners. And we're about to announce a partnership with some big cell phone case companies to go into your carrier stores. So it's been a pretty cool thing, and we're excited about it. I think that 2016, Impact Gel will be, a couple $100 million company pretty easy.
Matt, thank you very much for speaking with us. Thank you for sharing your tech. It is truly remarkable. I have not seen a demo like this before. This is the demo of the SANS Innovation Pavilion. Folks, this is Impact Gel. It's absolutely non-Newtonian. Sometimes the best exercise is just to shake it, which is why we're here at HyperVibe, and I'm speaking with Bree, who's going to explain what this can do for your body. Bree, what is this?
This is a whole body vibration machine. What we're doing is we're doing exercise on the machine and a much quicker workout. So we can cut down our workout, we produce G-force, the machine loads the muscle via gravitational loading, so you're going to get a really intense workout, a really short period of time.
Okay, there's going to be people in our audience who are going to say, no, shaking me is not the same as me going to the gym, which obviously I never do, but what's the science behind it?
So the machine produces gravitational loading. It's really hard to explain it until you feel it. So most machines in the industry, if you've tried vibration training, have a very low rocking wobble board. This machine produces high intensity frequency, high G-force. So you're going to get the results that you want and a really short workout. Come and try it.
All right, let's try this. So I just get up here, and you've got your eye device in here. Now, what am I doing?
What we're going to do is we're going to set the machine to run. So the machine's going to tilt from side to side, very slowly at start. This is great for balance. We're going to take it up higher. It's going to go away from that wobble board, and now it's a vibration. This is a really light vibration, great for circulation. What I want you to do is a little squat for me, and we're going to go into the high intensity now. You ready? Feel that activation.
Ooh.
Through your quads.
Okay, I could see this. Yeah, and actually, now I understand gravitational loading. Essentially, it's simulating, because it's constantly going up and down at a high frequency, what it would feel like for you to experience more cheese. And I have to say, I'm glad if this is an actual workout, because this actually does feel kind of nice to my feet.
Yes, it's great. It's doing circulation as well and lymphatic drainage as well as what you're working out. Now, by you just standing there, it's working your legs. But if you want to get a whole body workout, we need to move on the platform. We're doing push-ups, lunges, tricep dips. You're really getting a high-intensity workout by moving on the platform at the same time the vibration's working you.
Okay, so how do I do that?
So will you get down and do a push-up right now? But we would do a push-up like this.
Oh, wow. Now,
that way you're working the different muscle groups.
Now, I'm going to ask, just because I think every geek out there wants to know, could I just get a workout by sitting on this?
Well, you can work some muscles, not all.
Okay, Bree. Now, if they do like this vibration idea, if they want to try it out, if they want to find out more, first of all, where can they go to get more information?
So our American distributors have a fantastic website, hypervibe.com, and they're in New York and also Colorado. But you just contact the website, call the number on the website, and you can speak to our fantastic guys.
And I got to ask, price points.
This machine is $2,000, and it is 15% off for the show.
Bree, thank you very much for speaking with us. Thank you for sharing your technology. I'm going to sit here and let the HyperVibe massage my feet. Well, we couldn't leave CES 2016 without a little something for the action sport enthusiasts, which is why we're here at Acton, and I'm speaking with the CEO, Janelle, who's going to explain what they've done with skates and skateboards. Now, Janelle, last year we tried on the rocket skates, and I will be honest, I thought it was one of the scariest experiences of my life. The learning curve was a bit too high for me because you had two motors that were kind of pulling me in different directions, not because of the tech, but because I'm clumsy. You've come out with a new product this year that I think solves a lot of those problems. Tell me about these.
Yeah, so the R5, the Rocket Skates R5 is a new model. So only one foot is powered, the other one is following. So, and also using remote control. So when you use the remote control, you can control it when you want to go. So it's a little bit easier. The learning curve will be really short.
Right, exactly. I felt much safer with these just because I only have one foot. I know which of my feet is providing the power, so that's the one I have to watch for. And because I have the control in my hand, I know that I can stop at any time rather than worrying about getting off balance on the skates. Now, rocket skates are nice, but one of the big things has been skateboards. On our network, we've taken a look at least 3 different skateboarding types, and I think the lightest one was 75 pounds. You've come up with something a little more unique. Tell me about this.
So Blink board is a really light board. It's under 10 pounds, 9 pounds. Can be called one of the lightest electric skateboard out there. And then it's very easy to carry with you. It's not a long board. It's the size is between penny board and a long board. And it comes with a strap, so you can just carry with you easily.
What I've really enjoyed about this is the remote. Not only is it wireless, but it's small. Some of the remotes that I've seen have been these large, clunky wired devices, and they don't feel right. They throw you off balance. Not only that, since it's under 10 pounds, this is not a whole lot heavier than the regular skateboard will be. Now let's geek out on the specs. What are the top speeds of these devices? Put into the hands of an expert. How fast can they go?
So max speed is 15 miles per hour. So because it's a smart device, you have 3 modes. You can control it from your phone to set it beginner, normal, and pro.
And how far could I get? What's my battery life?
It's over 6 miles per charge.
This is very, very cool. We have to get a few of these into the studio because we have certain members of our staff that we like to torture. We like to make them go out and do things that we think will get them hurt. But unfortunately, it looks like these might be a little less dangerous this year. Tell me.
Here's the thing I tell you. You give him the board, you control the remote.
Cranky Hippo, we're coming for you. Janelle, if they want to find out more about all of your products, where can they go?
Please go to actonglobal.com, actonglobal.com.
And then the big question, if they want to pick one of these up, how much are they going to cost, and where can they go to buy them?
So the retail price is $4.99. We have a CES special called the 2016 CES. That's a coupon code. Get $50 off.
Janelle, thank you very much for sharing your tech with us. And if you need to get extreme, you need to get electric. That means you need to get active. Over the last 2 years of CES, I have to say that the Sands, has been my favorite part of the show. Yes, it's nice to see the big TVs and the polished demonstrations and the large companies who come each and every single year to the Central and the South Halls. But there's something about the frontier technology spirit that you find here at the Sands Innovation Pavilion and downstairs in Eureka Park. You get to see the cutting edge, be it a smart home or the next generation of Segway or sheer material that can withstand a hammer blast to some of the best sleep technology I found at the show. I gotta say that this is probably gonna be our first stop for CES 2017, but until then, you can enjoy plenty more tech on the TWiT TV network. Until then, I'm Father Robert Ballecer, the Digital Jesuit, saying goodbye and good night from CES 2016. Now go home.